If you're sick of the lies and ready to know thyself, to love thyself, well then tune in to the Luv-A-Lution with your hosts, Amy and John Paul, where we speak all about truth, love, and freedom every Tuesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Studio A, right here on Revolution Radio. And remember, only you can free your mind control. Be a Luv-A-Lutionary.
Welcome to the Revolution Show. We are a conscious family radio talk show, speaking truth, love, and freedom for all. Know thyself to love thyself. In this show, we'll be discussing topics such as how to free your mind control, higher conscious levels, self-love and self-mastery, natural law, conscious parenting, social engineering, and off-gridding, along with much, much more. And now, the sacred feminine and sacred masculine dynamic twin flame Luv-A-Lutionary hosts, Amy and John Paul. Enjoy the show. Yo, yo, yo. You're tuned into the Luv-A-Lution Show on Revolution.radio. Welcome, all you beautiful spirits. Truth, love, and freedom for all is why we're doing it. My name is John Paul.
Hey guys, my name is Amy.
We got our twin flame, Amy, here. My twin flame, Angus, the youngster one. Sebastian, his older brother, 7, chilling out here. We got the fearsome conscious family 4-pack here, and we're transmitting on the top of Truth Mountain. Got a great show for you today. Tax day, they say. Screw taxes. It's slavery. All right, they got no right any percentage of taxes. It's voluntary. Read the fine print. There is no written income tax law. Check out amazing movie, Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo to learn more about taxation. Okay.
And the fraud behind it.
Yeah, so we do it out of duress and coercion.
And ignorance and deception.
Yes. So today's April 15th, 2025. And we're excited to be on the air for an hour, blasting out the truth that we know and our perceptions and our experiences about our skills that we've developed and evolved. Hope you're evolving. We want to talk about evolving over involution. That is not evolving, the opposite of evolution, involution, the stagnation of consciousness, of experience, of skills, of knowledge, okay, which most people choose every day. They don't want to know. Ignorance, apathy, laziness, cowardice, okay? We're trying to combat these types of things that people choose. We want to inspire people to be their best, to start their Luv-A-Lution, to raise the vibration of themselves and the planet and everyone around them. And awareness, all right? We're all infinite awareness, having a human experience.
Fear dissolves with knowledge, you guys.
Yes, fear dissolves with knowledge. Beautifully said, love. Absolutely true. Fear dissolves knowledge. Excuse me. Knowledge the other way around. The inversion got me there. The knowledge dissolves fear. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, When we're aware of that, we can let go of fear and do our homework, as Jordan Maxwell says, do our research, to take a second look, to respect ourselves, right? Know thyself to love thyself, we say. Free your mind control. Only you can do it. Pulling thy head out of thy rear end. Only you can do that. You can, the phrase, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. And so we want to bring all the horses to the water and try to get and inform all the horses that the water's okay to drink. And we got to clean the water, right? That's our perceptions, the water. Like an amazing analogy Mark Passio made about we all carry our buckets of water around, and think of it as that we all got buckets of water, and that's our conscious level, our perception. Some buckets are clean, pure, filtered, refined, reverse osmosis water. Those are the really awake people, really pure water. And then you have the people with the shit water that have no conscious level, no awareness, right? The Walking Dead, right? And that's levels of consciousness. Again, we've gone over, the Walking Dead, you got the artist, then you got the alchemist, then you got the wizard. Yes. Thank you, Rev Radio, for letting us blast out the truth, love, and freedom, self-love, Luv-A-Lution, and let us, have fun with an hour of your time every week. We appreciate the amazing people over there at Revolution.radio, freedomslips.com. Please help support this great station and platform, uncensored, for over 10 years, the number one listener supported station in the world on this third rock from the sun. So the beautiful Mother Earth, she is a living thing. We got to remember that too. She is not a rock, just dead consciousness. Rocks are consciousness. Trees are conscious. Plants, moss, okay, everything. We're all interconnected. Energy, consciousness, having an experience as a ladybug, as a human, as a cat, as a tree. All right. So that's higher levels of consciousness, wholeness, when you're balanced and you know that you're connected with that tree out there, that squirrel, that bird. You wouldn't hurt those animals in a million years, because that's hurting yourself. Of course, the bigger animals, no different, right? Even up to Sasquatch, we wouldn't hurt our sweet Sasquatch. We love Sasquatch. They're real. Bigfoot's real. All of it's real. Do the research. All right. We got to always tell people, do the research. Don't believe us. Don't believe anything. Believe in yourself. Okay. Know. And you resonate with information. That's how we've discerned information and gone deep down the rabbit holes. Many, many rabbit holes. No taboo topics here. We love it. Everything from all the MK Ultra stuff, learning about Montauk, all the atrocities and crimes against humanity that took place at Camp Hero in Montauk, which is New York, Montauk, New York, out on the fork of Long Island, way out where no one will see you. And they do underground military bases and underground mind control, awful things. It's going on still, just not in that facility. Okay. So be aware of the black ops going on, deep underground military bases, they're called. All right. That our tax money goes to. What does your taxes go to, you wonder? The roads? My ass. Okay. The roads. Okay. So the roads are horrible. We all know it. So we got to be aware Knowing thyself, that's part of knowing thyself. We want to talk about the ego, identifying, right? Ego attachment. We got to get out of this horrible habit and program we all have. I am my car, my income, my race, my skin color, my religion. We identify and wear these labels like patches on a Boy Scout jacket. Like the Boy Scouts wearing those patches, like as they get up the ranks. That's like what we do as we identify with dumb things that we think make us cool, or this is how we imagine ourselves as being. I'm a this, I'm a that, whatever it is. Okay, you're not that. You're just doing that at that moment, right? I always say, I grew up playing ice hockey. I always said, I'm not a hockey player. I play hockey. I never want to identify as a dumb hockey player who just knew nothing but playing hockey. No. Okay. I'm a lot more than just that. Or just like I like to surf ocean waves. I don't ever call myself a surfer, but I surf waves, yeah. So it's what do we identify with? Okay.
And I wanted to add to that. That's a great point, sweetheart. I just had a thought. I was thinking, and then that separates us from everyone, the whole, because we identify, then that gets us into even a smaller box. And we think we're either better or worse or whatnot, but then that puts us even further away from our human race, our family.
Yes,
our human family.
Yeah, the human family. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing this for, is to connect. We're all brothers and sisters in this experience, having this experience, right? The collective consciousness and our manifested reality, and how sick and crazy the death cult society we're in is a manifestation of a lot of unevolved beings out there, right, that haven't done any work on themselves. Okay, the true work here and the true school here is to raise your consciousness, learn lessons. Always ask yourself, what's this teaching me? What lesson can I learn? Life never stops teaching you. So never think you know it all. Never stop learning. All right. That's just putting a limit to knowledge, and basically arrogance is ignorance. Right. When we say, I know it all. I know that. I know what's right and wrong. Yeah, but do you really? And
do you live it?
Yeah, you may know it, but do you live it? Yes, actions.
That's the only thing that's going to change this world is your actions, not what you say.
Yes, actions speak louder than any blabbermouth gab will ever do. Right? Talk is cheap. All these sayings, they got a lot of truth behind a lot of them. Talk is cheap, right?
Yeah.
So, doing that inner work isn't easy. It's not a fun thing. It's like a closet piled head high full of shit, human shit, or dog shit, or whatever, cat shit.
And you got to sort through it.
And you got to go and you got to bag it all up and get it out of there and shovel that out. And it's going to start stinking once you move it. And it's going to be heavy and disgusting and slimy and get everywhere. No, you're not going to do that work. You're going to shut that door and close it and run as far as you can.
You might discover things about yourself that you really don't want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the causal factor, right? We wanted to talk about mommy daddy issues. We all got them. The abandonment issues, okay? That's what politics plays and preys on, is, right? The mommy issues go blue, daddy issues go red, right? So it's all a bunch of baloney.
They prey on our trauma.
As our friend says, the politics, because they're ticks, they're parasites.
And they prey on trauma, right? So we're all traumatized somewhat here, right? We grew up in this society, and they prey on that.
Yes. And so, yes, they prey on our...
All authority outside yourself, dear ones, is false. So just remember that when you're involved in the big circus, start asking yourself, am I putting my authority within, or is it without? Is it on the outside or the inside? Right? There's a big difference there.
Absolutely.
Huge.
Yes, the external illusionary government that we think we see on TV every night, because we blast ourselves with the television, right, in our most vulnerable time of day when we're tired, easily influenced, we put on that TV, we just eat, get some news from the tube.
I feel like we're informing ourselves.
The idiot box, yeah. And, we just spit that bullshit out to our friends and coworkers the next day, what we just saw on television.
I think we're really learning.
And that's our perceptions, yeah. So beware of the evening news. It's all to distract you, to coerce you, to keep you under duress,
keep you
in compliance, obedience. All right, that's what these things do, to control your perceptions, and that will control your behavior. You control the perception, then that controls their behavior. So you keep them in mind control, well, then you don't have to use armies to force people to physically control, because you have the people's minds, the mind virus, and it spreads. The hypnotic mind virus, emotional mind control we're all under, because we have mommy and daddy issues.
Yeah, shut off your TV, folks. We don't own a television. We don't put ourselves under mind control.
Yes. And if you're paying for cable and all those 24-hour propaganda news networks, think again, save your money and put it somewhere else, because they rip you off. Now it's probably $100, $200 a month to get cable. I don't even know. I've never owned a TV in my life. Actually, I'm proud to say that. Yeah. Television. It tells lies to our vision, our subconscious, and it is a most powerful mind control tool. We can't state that enough, how powerful. I was brainwashed fully by it. MTV generation. I was born in 1979 and raised in the 80s, 90s, and
yeah, me too. TV was always on in my house.
Yeah,
I had a TV in my room, in the corner. I watched TV all the time.
Yeah. I had 6 older brothers, so sports was huge in our family. We watched every dumb sport that was on television, any competition, and as the brothers were very competitive, and in all the sports we got involved in a lot, mostly hockey. And
it takes our creativity away too, you guys. It takes our creativity away, right?
Yes, it's like soft military, like sports. Basically, you got the colonel or the coach, and they're dictating all the, you go over here, you do this, dictating the orders out to the players on the field or whatever. And very militaristic, and similar characteristics. And it doesn't really teach you much. You can, to work with others and put the ego aside. Maybe you learn some skills that way. Teamwork, I get it, but ultimately it's a dictatorship. You better obey the coach or you're off the team. And I walked off of many teams because of a-hole coaches I couldn't stand, and taking my power back when I was a youth any way I could. So I walked out in the middle of a lacrosse game, playing lacrosse, and this coach was giving me shit for hitting some guy, and I said, screw you, I'm done. bye-bye. So we got to take our power back, folks, in any way, shape, or form we can as youth, whoever's listening, in any capacity, in your work, in your relationships, right? That's making time for you. That's saying no to them, is saying yes to you, right? Putting yourself first at times. We got to do it. We got to do that inner work, that knowledge of self, and sticking up for yourself, protecting yourself, being your best friend is very important. Yes.
Yeah, being your best friend, you guys, and also being your mom and your dad for yourself. You know, your parents tried, but nobody's perfect. It's time to take responsibility for yourself and to protect your heart, your energy, because it's it's definitely necessary. There's energy vampires everywhere, so people have a violent worldview, you know, so they can really walk in your mind with their dirty feet. So just be aware, right? I had to learn the hard way that a lot of people don't have your best interests. It's sad to say, but it is true. So just love yourself, protect yourself, and guard your energy. It's true.
Yes, absolutely. A quote or somewhere I heard, our families kill us with their smiles. And it's a profound statement, because what it means is they love having us be that role that we supposedly bought and identified with, the role as little sister, little brother, or the black sheep, or the goody, the favorite, or whatever. But family's a trap, folks. It keeps us arrested in unconsciousness. It arrests our development spiritually, physically, emotionally, and yeah, all of it. So we got to know, you know, these people, we didn't choose them. Friends are the family you get to choose. Okay, friends are the family you get to choose. That's a gift here as a human, right? You don't have to hang out with your family every day. You can get out, you can move, you can evolve, get out on your own, which I highly recommend. Anyone who's living with their parents at this time, and it's over 30, you might want to consider some freedom and putting your big boy and girl pants on, getting out there, taking care of yourself, and then you don't have to hear anyone tell you what to do, okay, or where to. You don't have to hear anything from anyone. Freeing yourself, liberating yourself to be in a sacred space is very important for the inner work. All right. If you're living with family members you can't stand, it's tough. All right, doing that inner work. And so that's how the family can be a trap, when we just stay comfortable. All right, that basically creates involution when we're just comfortable. We're not going to rock the boat, make any waves, and learn anything new. I don't need to know anything. I know what I need to know. All right, that's kind of a solipsistic, moral, relativistic mindset. I can decide what's right and wrong, and that's the heart of moral relativism and what's gotten us in this mess. All right, folks, and check out our website, Luv-A-Lution.net. We're doing this to inspire you to start your own Luv-A-Lution, to then collectively we can have a Luv-A-Lution and watch this new world order crumble, these institutions crumble, all this crap, external, all this war crumble. Okay, we got to put away our out of control egos, all the warmongering moron suits out there. All right? Can't stand these idiots. It's all from egos out of control. And we got to not go into the military, not follow orders, and any form of government, whether the paper pushers to the weapons, to the infantry, to the helicopter pilots. Okay, my dad was a helicopter pilot in the Marines. My brother was a Marine. So I come from a family of order followers. My uncle was a state trooper. My cousin was a state trooper. Tons of order following in my family, and I was all into G.I. Joe. I couldn't wait to go to war. When I was like little, I remember I thought it was the coolest thing, 5 or 6. I couldn't, G.I. Joe made me so into it, and that's probably was put there to recruit little kids from like 5 to 6 to want to be gung-ho G.I. Joe. Look how cool these guys are. And the A-Team and all. And then Top Gun was a big, recruiting movie. That's Angus. He loves singing, playing music, and birding. And he's only 1.5, going on 5. But, he can't stand control. His brother tries to control him. And he's an anarchist to begin with. We're all anarchists. No one likes being controlled. Cats, dogs, babies, toddlers,
Fish.
Little boys, little girls, adults. No one likes to be told what to do, controlled, right? So that's why, again, we're doing this, to teach people only you can free your mind control. And yes, you are under mind control to a degree. We all are, because you were born on this planet, unfortunately. And your parents put all that they knew, all their programs, belief systems into you so that you will perpetuate the machine, right? The big machine. But no, we got to say no and stop this ancestral patterns. As what we've done, we've taken our children, not put them in the institutions. I'll just use us as an example, not tooting our own horn, but we've taken our power back and said no to the ancestral patterns of vaccinating children, of having children in hospitals. Right? Our last son, we had a free birth here, Amy. Oh my gosh, warrior, goddess, incredible. How she just manipulated her body, and our little sweetie popped out, Angus. Incredible. The dance that they went through only took 6 hours, and in your own home, ladies, you feel so much more comfortable having your child.
Right. I'll just add something to that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was illegal to have your baby at home by yourself. I didn't know that you had the right to do that. So realize we do have the right to do what we want. It's a lie that we think we're going to get arrested. We're not going to get arrested, you guys. It's not illegal. So just be aware. Authority is inside of you. It's not outside of you. So if you're feeling like you want to try a wild pregnancy and a free birth, it was so much better than going to the hospital. So much better for me. It was so much less stressful. The wild pregnancy, I had no ultrasounds or anything with this baby. And it was so much easier and so much less stressful. So that's my perception with my experience. And so definitely throwing that out there. It's a possibility.
It takes courage, ladies. You can do it. They've been having babies for thousands of years without medical interference. Okay? They've created a medical interference mafia to interfere with our health. All right? They don't help at all whatsoever. It's all interference, and it's not necessary. They say they're intervening because they use death and fear all day, every day. In fact, what was the fact, honey? 9 jumbo jets a day of people pass due to negligence and neglect in hospitals in the U.S., I believe.
Yeah.
That's atrocious. So we can't trust these places, these institutions. They are a for-profit business. It's like a snack bar. Okay, you're not going to get free food at a snack bar. You got to pay for it, and you'll get shit food, probably. Shit service. And, you don't get anything on the menu, well, then get out of the snack bar. They don't want you in there. You don't use their drugs and use their expensive equipment and radiation and all their your surgeries and all that nonsense. Anyway, I'm not saying some things for emergencies. Yes, that's where they were there for. Hospitals. You were cut wide open. Okay, they could sew you up where most people cannot sew themselves up, or their loved one could not sew themselves up. Well, Amy could sew me up, thankfully, because she knows. She took care of animals, sewed them up for a long time, and she can suture, and she's taught me what to do if necessary. If we had a huge cut, which we don't, right? So we don't really hurt ourselves. We don't live in fear of what ifs. We take, we're careful, cautious when playing with our kids. We're on the side of a mountain. We got slopes that go way down. We got rocks everywhere, and we climb and play. And the kids are always okay. We don't worry and put helmets on them. And oh my gosh, no! And don't let them do anything. No. So anyway, just kind of going off on a tangent today, folks. Just pissed off. And you should be too, at the level of ignorance everywhere and the overwhelming majority of people that just don't care really about anything but themselves and theirs and what they're going to eat that night. And
we're not here to just be comfy, folks.
We're not here to be useless eaters, as the elite calls us, or the walking dead, or the unbegun, because we haven't even begun to evolve our consciousness that we're here to do. That's the true school, okay? School doesn't happen in a room with fluorescent lights and 4 walls, and that's indoctrination centers, right? School is out there on this earth. This earth is school. All right, and then that inspired us to start our own school, which gets me segueing into that. We're raising our own money. We already have donors, and it's going to be like a modern mystery school, Luv-A-Lution style, right? Know thyself to love thyself, teaching kids their knowledge of self and reality and all the other fun stuff, right? Grammar, logic, rhetoric, okay? The trivium, gardening, foraging, survival skills, okay? Surfing, tennis, what else? Hiking, whatever you want to do. Birding, we're going to be teaching it all.
Swimming.
Not that we know it all, not saying, but what we know. We have a vast cornucopia of knowledge between Amy and I, and it's time to share it. And so, yeah, we're excited about that. We're going to start it here where we are in Maine, and possibly have an online course. So this is for kids of all ages, not just young kids, okay? Free school, folks, free. No one's getting charged nothing. Okay, we're going to raise the funding because we've seen absurd nature schools charging $28,000 a student. Okay, the audacity and the egos of some of these people in charge of these places that, they want to limit the knowledge to only the people with money. No, this is for everyone. Whoever makes it out here, we will teach you if you're willing to learn, if you're teachable. All right. And starting with, I don't know, we'll probably do 5-year-olds or maybe even 7-year-olds at the youngest.
Yeah, no diapers.
Yeah, we're not babysitters. This isn't a daycare. Don't care about your kids. That's what we call daycares, because we got to make sacrifices and take care of our children. All right, parents, I'm calling you out. Unconscious parenting is rampant all over the place. All right, you see it. And the parents put the kids last. Okay, they put the kids last. Yep, it's me and mine and my bills, and the kids come last, and it's a damn shame. And it gets me pissed off. The most vulnerable group of people on the planet are children, and we abuse, neglect, rape, murder, torture the most beautiful, innocent group of people on this planet. And if that doesn't piss you off or get you riled up, right? The way the kids are treated, the masks that went on them during COVID that they all still wear because they know it takes 28 days to create a habit in people. Get them to want to wear their mask. Get them to love their masks. And it has me really upset the way they harmed our children in that manner. Then making the jabs, lower and lower. And, the jabs are all to destroy your immune system, to make you a medical mafia customer for life. Okay? Jabs, almost every illness, okay, Hodgkin's, Parkinson's, dementia, it's all from vaccine damage. Shingles, okay, Huntington's, Hodgkin's, all these freaking names, all these diseases, it's all vaccine damage. SIDS, they want to blame SIDS, the parents rolling over on your kids. No, it's the jabs, the soft metals going into them. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And we're paying to get poison our kids. And those pediatricians, they're making so much money.
Then we'll peer pressure and get mad at people that refuse to poison their children and stand up for their kids. Like they're the bad people. It's just nuts. Everything's backwards. Everything's upside down.
Yeah, we're here up by the Canadian-U.S. border here in the Northeast. And we listen to Canada radio stations in Canada, rock stations, and they're pushing the jabs so hard. Holy cow. And making the measles. Oh, boy, making fun of the unvaccinated are the ones that are spreading the measles everywhere. Go get your boosters, everybody. A rock station. Are you kidding me?
Because they want us fighting, you guys. They want us to think each other is the enemy, when really the enemy is one enemy, and it's the force behind everything.
The state, the governments, yeah. And
it's not us. We're not the bad guys.
No. And, they want to divide us, right, with all these tariffs. Hate this country, hate that country. No, it's all, they want you to choose a side. And higher level consciousness doesn't choose sides, doesn't identify with any of this shit, all this nonsense going around. All right, all this fear mongering. That's how they use it to control us. That's what COVID was, a big scare the shit out of them, and they'll do whatever we want. And it worked, because the majority of people have their heads up their asses. Unfortunately, it's sad to say. And it's embarrassing sometimes to be even part of the human race, because of how devolved we've become. We become less than animals. Animals don't even act this way. Animals don't put each other in cages. Animals don't make each other hand over pieces of paper, or else you can't be here, or be there, or here, or a number on a screen. So we think we're the freest people, the most smartest species on this planet. Well, the animals are way freer. Some of them aren't. The ones in the factory farms, yeah, they're getting treated like shit. But the birds, they're freer than we are. They don't have to show papers over an imaginary line. Right?
They don't get arrested if they pee outside.
Yeah, they don't get arrested if they jaywalk or pee outside. Exactly. Or have too much to drink. Right? So, anyway, we love you. Luv-A-Lution is the solution, is the choice the individual makes. A Luv-A-Lution the individual makes towards truth, love, self-love. The most important thing we teach, folks, self-love. Okay? We're all taught to love this, love that, except we don't love ourselves. And that's where it's got to start, with the foundation. You don't build a roof and then you put the foundation last. You got to start with the foundation and build up. Okay, on a house, to use an example. All right. So you got to put a solid foundation too. You got to use good stuff, rock, concrete, make it real solid, bedrock, whatever. You have flimsy crap you build on, swampland, your house will be sunken down in a few years. All right. You got to know what you're doing. This is part of doing the inner work. All right. Knowing thyself. It's huge, folks. It's huge. No one wants to know. They want to know how to do this, how to do that, but they don't want to know themselves. And that's where we come in to inspire. Know thyself, and you can do anything. You can teach yourself anything. When you let go of those limitations we put on ourselves, self-sabotaging belief systems we put on ourselves. That's the inner work. The inner creates the outer. As spiritual beings, we know this.
And the more beliefs we have, the further we are to ourselves, right? We believe.
The more we isolate ourselves, yes, divide ourselves, put ourselves in a box of labels. I am this, I am that. No, you're none of it. You are all that is, was, and can be. Okay? The eyes, your eyes aren't seeing what's out there. They are your perception projection screens. Your eyes are going to see your perceptions. All right? Your vision isn't real. You can't see all that's out in front of you. We have a projection screen in the back of our heads, right? We receive information. We gargle it up in our mind's brain, we call it, right? Then we believe, then we perceive our reality. Hopefully you don't believe too much stuff that gets caught in that web. It's kind of like a filter between the receiving and the perceiving. They want us to be leaving, so then we can be controlled. See, a Luv-A-Lution creates a world they can't control, taking George Orwell's quote and making it ours. Luv-A-Lution instead of love. But love, like he said, is very true. Love creates a world they cannot control. Unity creates a world that they cannot control. Right? Balanced individuals, strong, balanced individuals that know themselves create a world that they cannot control. We will not acquiesce when you have balanced, strong, conscious warriors.
And that's their worst fear, you guys, really, is us knowing who we are. That game's over for these sickos. Game's over. So we hope you're on your Luv-A-Lution journey. You're getting to know yourself more and more each and every day. It's not an easy task, but it's one that is very important. And we're over here on our Luv-A-Lution journey, learning, growing, taking steps towards our goals, our dreams, right? Every single day we're doing things to better our future and to better our situation. Because remember, your future self, you guys, your future self is depending on you to do the things you're supposed to do. Your future self is dependent on you to do those things that you want to do.
Yes.
So don't sit this one out. Don't just observe everyone else living their lives, you guys. Get off the couch, get up, get going with those things that you're supposed to be doing, and keep going, right? Don't stop. Don't give up. Don't give up on this journey.
Yep. The two biggest mistakes is in that doing the inner work, not starting and not going all the way. All right. Those are the two biggest mistakes. All right. Once you start the conscious journey, we got to start it and we got to finish it. Right. And then the other great quote, I forget who said, the two ways to be fooled here is to believe what isn't true. The second way to be fooled is to not accept what is true. All right. Two ways to be fooled here. Believing what isn't true or believing in lies. And the second way, not accepting what is true and saying, I was wrong. The ego hates and it does not like to say, I was wrong, I was fooled, I was bamboozled, I had my head up my ass. But I could truly say I did. I had my head fully up there. I didn't know what was going on, just chasing, girls and money like an idiot, like everyone else, right? So, not knowing who I was, and thankfully I helped to pull my own head out of my rear end with experiences and, the raising my vibration, dissolving belief systems. It all comes when we can dissolve belief systems that don't serve us anymore. Things you believed 10, 20 years ago, you shouldn't be still believing them. Okay? Or maybe you hopefully looked into what you believed and did some research and said, I don't know about that. It doesn't feel right. We got to go with our heart-based intelligence. The heart knows. The mind thinks it knows, but it doesn't. Right? So know that. Use the head to live with that heart-based intelligence. And that's what we're trying to create. More heart-based intelligent people here. More people that can see through the lies. Can see the baloney. I mean, we all went through the biggest psyop ever in COVID for 4 years almost. I mean, how can we not all relate on some level now? And that's got to bring us together, COVID. All right, 9/11 brought us together, but in the wrong way. Yeah, let's go get those Middle Eastern guys. They told us who did it. No, all right, that's freaking baloney. It was an inside job.
Again, the enemy hides, right? The enemy always hides, and we always think it's each other or a different country or something, but can't be our own government.
Yeah.
They can't be against us. No. They got our best.
They never wanted, they never cared for us. They never will. And never in the future will they. And it'll only get worse if we don't say no. The enslavement, the control, the AI now, folks, the transhumanism, it's everywhere. It ain't cool. We got to get back to nature, get back to our roots, organic roots, not the inorganic, alien invasion, Archon invasion, Archon intelligence. All right. Look it up. Archons are the ruling force that have been here for millions of years. All right. You can't see them because we're blind as bats on a visual scale. All right. And yeah, we've done the research. David Icke's amazing researcher taught us a lot about the race controlling. So everything you see is controlled by what you can't see. And yeah, highly recommend.
That's an eye opener. Learning that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. And we're always learning, we don't think we know everything. We're always ready to learn more. But when we know something, we know it, and we know it really well, and we align to it.
Yes. And that quote we spoke of about, I forgot its name, but we want to know the truth, the whole truth, and we're going to speak about it and whistle blow as loud as we can and to expose it, because it's too late in the game, right? Everyone denies the house is on fire. We got to recognize the house is on fire. We're not, there's smoke everywhere. The elephants in the room. There's huge elephants in here. Hey, what's going on? We gotta start not identifying, but making people aware of the atrocities going on behind closed doors with the Satanists. Okay, how they've controlled everything for a long time, and their rituals, and they're taking over the institutions. Okay. Yeah, this is the ugly truth. It is not pretty. It's not a soft blanket. Right.
Yeah, your favorite Christmas story.
No. Well, we got to make aware. Speaking of soft blankets, we used to have safety security blankets, or a blankie back when I was growing up. Some kids like blankets. Now the blankets have turned into iPads and technology. That's what we blanket ourselves with, our security. We can't go without these things. And if that's your child, folks, then you've done a shitty job. All right. We can't be with our kids just getting mind controlled on their devices, free range with no parental control or, parental influence there. We got to watch what our kids are watching and watch what they're eating. Okay. And not just send them to the pediatrician to go get all jabbed up because everyone else is doing it. Because everyone else is doing it doesn't make it right. Because everyone else is doing it doesn't make it moral. Because everyone else is doing it doesn't make it true. And it's 555, and we're thriving here on Mount Truth. And we love doing this. I hope you enjoyed the show. We're about 2 minutes out from hearing the music. We love broadcasting for you. This transmission, we're off the grid on our portable power station. Had a cloudy day, but still we didn't need the generator. Thanks to our portable power station. We're teaching Angus little potty training. He's about 1.5. He's incredible. Learning how to sit on his potty.
Hitting the flusher.
He's got this hilarious little fake flusher when he's all done that we love flushing and laughing. But that's it. We got to flush our old selves away and start anew with a Luv-A-Lution, folks. That's why we're doing this. Flush your old self away. Flush those belief systems away that don't serve you. Flush it all away. Unlearn all the bullshit programming that didn't do you anything. The lies, they're lies to keep you from yourself, to keep you from ever knowing yourself. Flush away bad relationships that don't teach you anything or don't pick up your vibration.
Flush them away, you
Flush
guys.
it all away. We just got to flush bullshit down the toilet. Call out people that are retards and idiots and just spew nonsense lies. Call them out.
Because they've probably never been called out. Call them out, right? They have too much confidence. They're on Mount Stupid.
Yes. All right. Ignorance is arrogance. Arrogance, ignorance. So know that, folks. Knowledge. Choose knowledge. Truth, love, and freedom for all. We love you guys. Big Luv-A-Lution. Free your mind control. Know thyself to love thyself.
Remember, only you can free your mind control. See you next week, same time, folks. Much love.
Woo! Luv-A-Lution.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.